afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, amazing propaganda cast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero Strike, Defender of the Fatherland, off here to 1 vs 1 on Lost Glider, where the glider never is found. In the north, it's Jove, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the Großdeutschland Panzerdivision. West in the south, it's Foxtrot, fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 6th Guards tank Corps. We got Jaeger armor, Spearhead, Assault support with triple infantry versus Gauss rifles, Shock army, Guard mode with double infantry and mine bulletins there specifically for faster mine building, allowing Foxtrot to more rapidly lay down mine belts with which to disrupt any Teutonic advance here from Jove's side. Swiftly moving up to sandbag the cut-off point. Canadians following up, MD42 moving up there as well for Jove. In the south, it is Foxtrot with double conscripts into double engineers. Very interesting start there. Might be indicating a early support from Company or Special Command to start, but just wants to grab more territory faster, having brought on some extra infantry. There's certainly a few possibilities there, which Foxtrot could be aiming here against Jove. And this thing southwards, MD42 moving up eastwards, and a sort of spread out capping order there from Jove. Interesting way he's doing it, by the way. Not one I'm seeing a lot of here on Lost Glider, but there you go. In the west, Foxtrot continues to move up there. That's where all of his infantry is, by the way, so we're not likely looking at any immediate engagement between the other. In fact, it's a bit interesting that Foxtrot is using engineers sort of more towards the centre of that, where there's more likely to have fighting happen, whereas again, he's sending his infantry. Well, theoretically, again, if Jove could be pushing hard for the fuel point, but there's a Wehrmacht, he's less likely to do so, at least in my opinion. That, of course, isn't saying he could do it, couldn't do it, but again, it's less likely. Third conscript way there for Foxtrot, so we do have wiring off here. Noting he actually went for the second engineer squad, then just helped grab territory faster. And then follows up on infantry. Of course, long term it's going to be great to have double engineers anyway, since you can do more stuff with that. Engineers laying down Y here in the centre could also be a reason he went for it, but I was about to say, he looked like he wired himself stack, but that thankfully did not happen. I was going to do without a pretty easy day just shooting at targets. Third Grenadier squad there for Jove and the Großdeutschland. Southern victory point secured. Grenadiers going points here. We got constantly laying down sanctions, but advancing further. They're going to fall upon Jove's Grenadiers here, who are very much on their own with no real support here. So Jove's going to fall back, though there's likely going to try and see if he can't nab the munitions before so. Third Grenadier squad done here. And the south, or the centre. Bit of a standoff there. We got wiring off here. Machine gun being used here, sort of a blocking point there. Blockhouse wiring off there, so that way ensure that Foxtrot can't easily suppress the machine gun. If yes, I think it's always standing up on the Molotov road, though he might just lack a bit of range there. All Grenadiers now finding around the carve point as Foxtrot is slowly beginning to send more troops towards it. Noting no Molotovs up here for Foxtrot, though he could be researching them. He is not. Constantly ahead here slowly. Grenadiers already low in health and numbers, having suffered 2 casualties here by the munitions point. Constantly moving forwards here. In the south, they're still remaining here in ambush, and we got Jove there following up with a mortar fire, a bit more of a direct combined arms sweep for his infantry. Then again, there you go. Foxtrot rushes in. Hoorah, his men spreads here, basically using the country as bait to then draw away and get behind. And we got flamethrowers up here as well for Foxtrot. Oh, he's just got to attack with flamethrower through here if he can. Then again, he may just not have reach. Maybe that was Jove banking on. Does he, does he not? Guess we find out if Foxtrot does it. Pioneers of flamethrowers up here as well. Comes to that gap. The point and neutral will have to retreat soon before the rest getting wiped out. They're going to use going to creep ahead. Go straight for the MD42 in this case. Did not work out because he couldn't attack ground. Didn't have range or something like that. Unit wiped out here for Foxtrot. Bit of an early blow here by Jove. And here he didn't break past the machine. So again, the Bart wire there definitely had its effect. Nice over there by Jove. Mortar of course also ready to provide further support. No take it yet there. More country there for Foxtrot, but obviously it's going to be a fast tech up here for Foxtrot versus Jove. Knowing, of course, that another player has yet to commit to any doctrines. Jove's beginning to extend his influence westwards, but also going straight here for the carve point. Going very aggressively here, delivering a dagger blow there to Foxtrot's supply lines. Nice push there by Jove. Sometimes just being aggressive is the best option, obviously. That way you can disrupt your opponent's economy more. And of course just gain a psychological edge as well in some cases if your opponent just gets flustered like, what are you doing? That is my cutoff point, you fascist bastard. So in Pioneers here falling back. I was moving here further towards the centre. take over there happening for Joe and the Ghost Deutschland machine gun remaining. I'm not a fan of just keeping it there all the time. I mean, again, this is a sort of situation where you might just want considering a machine gun bunker or something else. To an extent, I can understand it, but it feels a bit wasteful to me, just a bit. But that's that. Anyways, Flamethrowers and Minesweepers up here. Foxtrot is not taking any chances versus Joe. And there we go. First doctrine chosen is Soviet shock army here from Foxtrot. A shocking choice which does not see a lot of usage. So it's not like I think it's a bad doctrine. I mean, you get hay mortars, shock troopers, you get submachine guns, artillery, air support. But of course it does lack that thing a lot of players like, which is call-in tanks. Or at least 8 tanks can sort of build from a mechanized armor company. So it doesn't see as much use in some way, but it can still be quite effective if you still, handle it aggressively. Maxim following up there for Foxtrot. Of course, in order to just rely on heavy mortars that way. Beat Jove senseless from afar. Now he goes for the field gun instead, perhaps realising he might actually beat up trouble in the form of light vehicles. Either Flamethrower after go 2-2s could actually give Foxtrot problems, in particular since he's gone for Doctrine, which offers no guardsman. So in that regard, he has no easy, convenient, quick response to a light vehicle. Oh, no, he goes for Shocktroop instead. Apparently Foxtrot is suffering from a bout of indecision. Can't quite make up his mind. But still, hitting the car point there, denying Joe resources again. This point, though, remains a bit of a pain in the side. Shock troops got 3 heads cleared up with popping a smoke grenade, then following up with the troops mining there up. Not bad. You could, of course, also go for the mortar. And as they're being burned to death, Contra doing what they can as well. Mortar firing down. Finding up here, and there you go. Machine catching these, trying to cut the wire. Quick see white P if he's not careful. Basil jumps up. If someone hit you a bit of a bump there, that would be Basil. The fluffiest kitten there is. So he's starting to be less of a kitten actually, more than genuine cat. There you go. He is now comfortable. We should hopefully offer no further disruption except his purring. Which hopefully shouldn't be too disrupting, but more soothing. Yes. Anyways, troops healing reinforcing. Oh, not healing. The medics have yet to arrive there for Foxtrot. Shock troopers. Yeah, they're going to try and move in here. Likely a smoke grenade, then move in, then sort of push out the machine gun that way. Maybe backed up some flamethrowers. Did save the Minesweeper crew, which is good. Got the tutors out there for Jove and Germany. The Groß Deutschland. Back here, healing reinforcement going on there for Jove. He's got his own medic bankrupt, Sanitäter. Healing reinforcement there as well. Of course, now for Fox, he's got his own medics ready. Shocktroopers waiting here. Sat machine as well for the conscripts, increasing their firepower up close. Certainly a very potent upgrade. Very potent. And should not be taken lightly. But fun fact about the PPS 841, the Germans captured a lot of them and then converted a large number of them to using German munitions as well. So, it was a pretty good sat machine gun in that sense. Note the version used here is the one with the drum magazine. Well, that one actually got replaced due to the issues with the spring in the magazine. Basically couldn't handle the load of all the rounds, so they would generally load it with smaller rounds. And I guess there's also just the fact that drums might just be less practical in some ways for the average infantryman, so that might also have been a cause, but either way, got replaced with stick magazines with obviously fewer rounds. Which of course also additionally an issue with drum magazines, they kind of make the submachine gun heavy. Oh, another mine goes off, so 2 mines in a row there. Fancy that. Actually not bad work there by Foxtrot. He needs to take it out though, but he can probably do that easily with a few shots there. Shox was there popping a grenade. I mean, I would have figured you'd go for a smoke grenade here, that way you can just obscure the machine gun, not like the course Joe just fall back with a machine gun. Took the zoo down, comes need to fall back, they're about to get murdered. But still, he got the 2-2 out there without really facing any serious resistance from it. That's really great for Foxtrot. Constantly up there, seizing territory, we got submachines away for them, very good. Tank for 10 command up, connect to go for a fast T-70. I mean, in this regard, Foxtrot has helped most of that. Oh! Wow! 10 grenade entirely wipes it? I mean, at least what Joe gets for just thinking about that, apparently just thinking, well, he will never throw another grenade. The Russians never throws grenades twice in the same place. 9 sets lightning you're thinking of. Was? Kaboom. So yeah. Bit careful there again about just sticking machines and they can cause you to get a bit lazy. Another reason I prefer using my machine guns more actively. I mean, again, I can understand it. Maybe just lock off a nice chunk of a map with it. It's great, but it obviously has its drawbacks as well. And there you go. I mean, just double grenade and got wiped out. He is replacing the machine gun, which is very good there for Jove. But it does mean Jove right now is in a pretty situation. He's being completely routed off the field, losing machine guns, finding his forces routed. He's got a pack 40 and Foxtrot though could easily push for T7. He could even just decide to go straight for the next tier and push for T34 some 6s, at which point Joe would have himself an even rougher time. Mines up there, very good work by Foxtrot. Western victory point seized, sandbags up there as well, very good. More mines there as well, very good. Certainly putting that mine bulletin to good use. Pack 40 waiting for anything to blow up, but so far it has yet to show its armoured face. And there you go, note the way that Foxtrot's moving up. The Shock Troopers basically covering the retreat path, meaning if Joe retreats so slowly, the Shock Troopers are going to have a very good chance of wiping them, since the PG-41s are really potent. And in fact, you might be noticing already killing models then, pushing the score down to almost half health. In fact, there we go, half health. So in this situation, had Joe been a bit too slow to retreat, there could have been something the Shock Troopers could have gobbled up. So really good move in some ways by Foxtrot. Of course, Joe was fast enough to avoid that one. Lots of light machines up for Joe, increasing his range, of course, of firepower range. Shock Troopers bring back the Pioneers. We got Panzer Grenadiers on there for Joe. That's certainly a very good choice. There's all the conscripts versus Shock Troopers. The Panzer Grenadiers can also work, but you definitely got to be more mindful of the distances between the two. And Foxtrot here, of course, basically seizing upon the initiative and the so far amount of success he's had. Also decides to shoot a wounded man. But he's basically here. Foxtrot's being hit for the Mechanized Armor Company. It's going to rush out T-34 from 6 most likely. Not a bad choice at all there. Sometimes, of course, you don't want to push out something faster, but in this case, moving ahead for medium armor is usually a really strong choice, in particular as the Soviets. So nice play there by Foxtrot. That T-34 from 6 is going to be a bit uncomfortable there for Joe. And I wouldn't be surprised if we could end up going for a Panzer section. The Panzer Grenadiers maybe sort of help compensate for this a bit. Worth noting, Foxtrot is not going for heavy mortars though. You kind of figure that, but for the reasons Foxtrot is not particularly keen on the heavy mortar there versus Joe. At least not for yet, despite Joe's mortar having been quite the little menace of its own. There we go, Foxtrot and the 6th Guard Tank Corps bringing up the T-34 76. Pioneers moving about. Bit of quad here back at base for Jove. I do think Foxtrot really needs to consider some support weaponry. Again, heavy mortar would be very much a bit of a problem for Jove. Make it hard for him to defend. Constantly not upgrade with submachine guns. Flamethrower pilots going there, probably hoping to spot mines and deal with them. In fact, there's flare mines, but they didn't cut off there. T-34 from 6 about to hit. Conscripts out in the open. There's the Pioneers around here. Vetsi 2, very good. Mortar machine covering up the carve point. And there you go. Joe strikes the carve point with the Panzer Grenadiers. Looking to disrupt his opponent's fuel income. That's very good. Very good. Very good. Bit bold, but in many cases works because Fox has so far mostly focusing center east, so west side. It's easy just to infiltrate and sneak in and hit the point there, so nice play. He's going to have to retreat soon. Of course, the risk of a solid move if he's not careful. He does lose screws in the unit if, he goes into fun, Fox would just outmaneuvers and just sets up a lot of nasty stuff in the retreat path. Didn't have him here, that's a good work. Slows down Foxtrot's fuel income. Of course, he's already got one tank out and Joe's still some time away from any armor, so there's obviously problems on the horizon there for Joe, but at least ensures that Foxtrot can't snowball the tanks too much. And that's actually crucial as well, because with the Soviet Soviet Union hitting you with a lot of T-34s and 6s, things can very quickly get very uncomfortable. Since the T-34s and 6s, while they're not very durable tanks in the game, they pack a lot of firepower. Machine gun wise and main gun wise. Pack 40 setting up there. So what Joe really wants to avoid for now is just Foxtrot getting too many T-34s and 6s. Because if by say the time he gets out of Panzer IV, his opponent has like 3 or 4 T-34s and 6s, he's not going to have a jolly good time. Smoking off guns going into sort of contest and also not on them here, helping them keep them suppressed. Very good. Multiples trying to bombard around here. He's doing some more damage. No badges here from Jove. Support going out there for Jove. He's going to go for the Panzer IV troops suppressed, pinned down. Casualties piling up, and there you go with the mortar round whistling down. Foxtrot beats Berry retreat. You know, he's got a lot of manpower floating. Fuel captures would be a good choice, I think, here for the Foxtrot to help further push the fuel edge versus Jove. That or a heavy mortar. That would also going to be quite helpful there for Foxtrot. Picking up that T-34-76. Very good work. Sicily following up the Foxtrot. Panzer on the way there for Jove and the Großdeutschland. Anti-tank grenades on the way there for Fox. So he's obviously starting to anticipate some sort of armoured movement here from Jove. Seizing the eastern fuel pump. T-34 going here for the Panzer Grenadier. Shoots, misses a bit. Missing it up to cover here the centre. We got 298 versus 490. Foxtrot has a massive victory point leader with Jove here, and certainly only looking to get big at this rate. Three kills from the T-34-76, but Pack 40 gets a nice return here there. In the west, Jove sneaks up to do a bit of harassment. Very good work there. Very good work. Foxtrot is not far off from going for another T-34-76, but he's bringing up more support weapons, bringing up a maximum this time around. Definitely not bad. But there you go, nice assault here with the conscripts. Sneaking past Jove's main gun line and hits the car point again. Almost taking out the mortar on the approach, but there you go. Panzer 40 returns to strike, and these backing up here as well. Very good. Shock will be moving in, pursuing the Pack 40. Can't they need to be careful. Piedmont machine gun away for the Panther 4 to help deal with infantry and any aircraft that arrive. There you go, Shocks with the fire from the Panther 4 again. Panther Grenadier is joining in. Shocks will likely have to retreat soon. T-34-76 field gun moving up here. This could spell a bit more of a complicated situation here for Jove. Penetrating hit on both medium tanks. T-34-76 rolling back. Pioneers went up west side with Grenadiers now moving to back out. Very good there, very good. More pressure on the left flank, same on the right flank. Foxtrot could probably stand to spread out his conscript a bit more across more points. Hitting the fuel point there. Looking across to further slow down Jove's fuel income. Very good decision there. Foxtrot can now go for the T-34-76 number 2. He could also go for a Katyusha on H-35. But I recommend the T-34-76 and he wanted to lead, heavy mortar would do him good. Or howitzer, really. More pioneers for Jove to help road repairs and other duties. Panzer Grenadier sweeping forward, veterans one game, but there you go, Maximum to the rescue. Preventing Jove's Panzers from, well, exploiting any further successes. There we go. Foxtrot finally goes for heavy mortar. T-34 is joining up with infantry in the centre and the west side, though. We got the fuel plant being harassed, constantly moving forwards there, but with both pioneers and Grenadiers flat machines carrying that fuel point, Foxtrot is not going to have himself an easy time here. He's going to have to retreat soon enough. But he kills his men. Are definitely not bulletproof against the VT2 Grenadiers squad with light machine guns. That's going to be a wipe there for Foxtrot. Nice little tactical win there for Jove. In the east, moving up here with the Panther 4. And T-34-16 hits it from the Panzer they can only 40. Mortar firing down here, mortar moving up here for Foxtrot and the 6 Guards 10 Corps. Foxtrot can soon go for, well, again, anything really, he just needs the manpower. He might want to replace some of his infantry losses. Hey, mortar so far doing some damage, but he's so far not really killing. Never mind, there we go. Took out half of the mortar crew. Quite the hit there from 120mm mortar, which is a fun fact, was very much wholesale adopted by the Germans. In fact, they just straight up copied the design with no real alterations to it. In fact, most of the Axis forces did that. The Hungarians remained, I believe, in the Finnish used it straight up like that. So, fun note there. Shocked was there as the machine gun inside the house, carrying the car point again. West side fixing up the T-34-76 while grabbing the fuel point back. Straight push for the couple. There you go. T-Fed Force 6 Rage Rescue here. Stuk almost done for Jove and Germany. Veterans 1 game on the T-Fed Force 6. Shock Troops pushing the centre. Backed up at the field gun. East side there. Not a lot happening. Oh, we got S-Mans going to Feist and Victory Point. Not bad. There you go. Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung G out for Jove and the Großdeutschland. T-Fed Force went to back up the infantry as they make the move here. These will have to retreat in the face of the T-Fed Force 6, lacking any way to stop it. In the centre, shock tubes hold it by the machine gun and mortar fire. Foxtrot could smoke the area, who could just try and hit back at the mortar, which by the way is now using counter barrage. Wow! I have not seen counter barrage on a mortar in ages, if ever. I mean, it's just such a underutilized ability, in particular on the mortar. You just don't see it. I mean, it's not a really particularly good ability. I mean, sure, it goes down on micromanagement, but that's about it. But it's not like it actually gains any bonuses while using the ability, I believe. So it's sort of kind of meh. But apparently Joe went for it. He should find a way there for Foxtrot. Pioneers they caught, laying down telemines. He's going to have to bring up some minesweepers since that bit of wall there is actually absorbing hits. Panther forward with Stuk manning up the west side. Panzer's backing up this road. Good little push there by Job. Nice little tactical formation. 2 kills on the heavy mortar. 3 kills. There we go. Back to counter barrage. So what will happen here? Is he going to about it? Yup. Hey, mortar firing down still. Doing some damage, nothing huge. So far the counter barraging is not having a big of an impact in return either. There you go, Hey Mortar took up someone out and ends up with Foxtrot actually retreating, interestingly enough. Though mostly because the Grenadiers arrived and not because of Joe's counter barrage efforts. T-Fed Force is being repaired. Conscript Shock is moving up here for the centre. Right hand side could sense a bit more active harassment there by Foxtrot. Good, meanwhile is putting more effort on the other side. Very good there. Noting that Job has gone for Jägerarmor in a definitely surprising move for a 1 vs 1. We'll have to see if he ever goes for the elephant. But cannot see anticipated him ending up here with Jägerarmor. We got the Ishvar opening up here in the Panther 4. Pioneers shooting the Panther well, the Flammenwerfers. Conscripts abandoning the church. It is quickly getting a bit too hot there. And we got air support ready here for Foxtrot. Grenade off, fails to do anything. Oh, right in front of the conscript with the submachine guns. And the T-Fed Force 6, there we go, right in front of the shock troops again, and I'll rout it. Stuk the lands good here on the T-Fed Force 6 with its center front of the cannon. Another hit there. Air support called in around Job's craft point to transport a push to him the southernmost fuel point, but with S-mines blocked. Oh, less than Grenadier squad as well, they're probably the bigger threat there since he had minesweepers for it. Joe flooding out on manpower. You could also consider fuel cache to help get more fuel for other things. You go for another Panther 4 now, you go for another Stuk, you go for Tier 4, and meanwhile Foxtrot's bringing up another T-Fed Force 6, very good decision there. Nine kills, adding spotting scopes to the Panther 4. Still flooding manpower, and we got Tier 4 there from Jove now. Großdeutschland Panzerdivision is advancing to the final tier to shatter the Bolshevik scourge. At least hope to. Gonna do something about here, 13 kills. HU5 hanging back, troops reinforcing. T-Fed Force 6 standing about. And we got the other T-Fed Force 6 out. That puts them now at 2 T-Fed Force plus the HU5 versus Job's 1 Panzer 4 and Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung G. early model, since there were technically two versions of the Stug G. You had the early model, which looked like this, with a more, shall we say, flat and triangular mantlet, and a more sort of standard looking machine gun on top, versus the late model, which had a more rounded, what was known as the Saukopf mantlet, which I think was colloquially not what the Germans actually called it. Plus, later models would also have a remote controlled machine gun similar to that used on the Hetzer there on top. So, little fun fact there. A lot of manpower being floated there again. Fuel caches would be an excellent investment there for Joe. T-Fit Culture coming in there halfway to 22. Another T-Fit on top of there with the Stug. We also got Telemann down there for Joe. Very good. Kind of these in the church not holding up well. We've got 293 versus 297. Fox is up here to catch up nicely there. Oh, brought down to over there by Jove. Shock's advancing here. 9 kills, halfway to the ace level. But there you go, Panzer on the way. We got grenades from the pine. He's going to have to retreat here. Oh! Didn't have to do enough in the end. Shock was able to retreat there because it would be a pretty big waste there for Fox to lose a shock to a squad like that. Field and advancing. Armour holding back here. Heavy mortar firing. Oh, it actually got routed there by Jove. In the west, fighting here over the fuel point. Jove can now call in the elephant. Is he actually planning an elephant? That'd be kind of crazy. To put it very mildly, that'd be kind of crazy. And we got Stuka bombed him off. Yeah, I think he's calling in the Maxim. Fox with his as well, does it pulls it out. And that house is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is gone. Stug moving ahead there, 4 kills. Very close veterans. 1 T for the first being flanked by Stug. 3G. T for against an Architectonic gains eventually 2, which of course increases its rate of fire, making the T-54s and 6 that way a bit nastier. Mortar there, very close to the ace level here for Jove. Hey, Panzer Corps going up. He can then go straight for the Panther almost, so go for the Sturm Panzer. Looks like he is not stalling for a Elephant Tank Destroyer. That would be certainly something else, but also not necessarily wildly effective. Foxtrot, meanwhile, is going for the Katyusha rocket launcher, providing himself with additional artillery besides the heavy mortars that would try and shatter Jove into submission. And we got air reconnaissance, plus we got munitions cache out here for Jove. So clearly something is being set up there by Jove for the long run. And certainly having an idea what your opponent is doing is a really good idea. Katyusha's almost done. T-54-6 in the repairs. Foxtrot needs to worry a bit more on those victory points because in the southeastern one again, quick map saying it'll be worked a bit harder to secure once more for the motherland. Since right now Joe is gaining a steadily ever increasing edge over Foxtrot, so that's something I think Foxtrot wants to be a bit careful about in the longer run. Push with us to make the point coming in there. Could hit the dirty ones up close with the submachine guns. I think these did not do that. Jove going for a Panzerwerfer, so they're both going to have rocket artillery and a mortar on the field. I'm a bit surprised at Jove's decision to go for the Panzerwerfer. I can't really figure, you know, Sturm Panzer or Panther instead, but Panzerwerfer can work. T-Fit fun hot water here was the Stug, but there you go. H5 flanks penetrates the side arm of the Stug. There you go. Vecchi 2 gain. T-Fit fun 6 top. There you go. Second T-Fit moving in. There you go. Stug on the retreat here for Jove. Panzerwerfer out. Katyusha's moving up. Actually not moving. It's just sitting back here doing absolutely nothing for Foxtrot. Probably should get that one moving soon. Continue fighting over the centre here. Heavy mortar firing down and almost taking out Jove's mortar and again. But once more, it escapes. Panther moving eastwards. Field moving up. Panther's on watch. Slowly approaching Metsi. 3 more counters out there for Fox to replace some of his infant losses. Very good. Ace level shots from there. Go. Panther taking hit as well. They could risk getting wiped out here by Foxtrot, and there you go. That's low. He's ignoring them. He's not finishing them off. He's going for the car point, missing an opportunity to wipe out Joe's Panzer Grenadiers. Is lucky for Joe. Katyusha Barway is moving up. Needs to be careful about not being too close. And he's firing here. Is it? Oh, at the bunch up Grenadiers. Ah, he shoots a bit off. The aim was a bit off. He was so close there. If they'd been slightly further to the left, that would probably been, you know, some heavy casualties, not straight up wipes against Joe. So that was a really close one there. Very lucky for Joe, though, that apparently Foxtrot's aim was a bit off. Fixing up the T-34s. Back here healing reinforcement for the shock troopers. But yeah, he missed out, I think, some kills there against Joe. Panzer Grenadiers. But also the Grenadiers, I think, could have some better moves made against. Still, Foxtrot is controlling most of the map. So in that regard, he's still in a very strong position. Also, both more or less a full pop cap. We're going to see what Joe's going to try and do here to sort of break the stalemate that's going on at the moment. We got more miles down there from Foxtrot, very good. And in the southeast, Joe's thinking about they're trying to outmaneuver. Foxtrot was sort of sneaking up behind, very good move. But could obviously back that up with a bit more firepower, I think. Stug snipes some poor soul with an armor piercing round. Very nice work. He's laying down telemines. Joe is clearly worried about getting swept away by a T-34 assault there from Foxtrot to going to mine even these more oblique paths, which certainly I think indicates some of Joe's foresight there and just how seriously he's taking his opponent as a threat. Meanwhile, pushing further south, it looks like Foxtrot's waking up to the fact he has to push elsewhere on the map. This also seems to really bleed out on victory points out of 204 versus Joe's 271. Stug hammering away there. Needs to be careful there, Joe. He's trying to get the T-34, other one moves in there. Engages it. We got target weak point there, but the T-34 avoids it. Oh, still takes a hit there from the Stug, and it's heat round. A mortar fire there on the regular mortar. Once more, Joe is forced to pull it back. A mortar with actually 2-6 kills. Got the Panther on the east side here to cover up the eastern victory point, I imagine. Pushing up for the centre with the Panther Grenadiers near the heavy mortar and the field gun. There you go, bombarding with the field gun as well. He really wants those Panthers dead. And there you go, Panther there for unleashing hell upon Foxtrot strong point around the centre there. Field gun crew annihilated, mortar crew not exactly doing much better either. Maximus the only one to get away with is relatively unscathed but still suppressed. In the south, constantly being annihilated here by the Panzer IV. Looks like Foxtrot is perhaps finding a bit too defensively here versus Joe. Hard to say, but Joe is certainly finding a bit of an easy time at the moment, just picking him apart. Fighting at his own leisure, which is definitely not something Foxtrot should be allowing Joe to do so easily.
Only 200 points remain. Double your efforts.
Less than 200 points left here for Foxtrot versus Joe's 258. T-34 is in need repairs. Issued a farm on his own here, not even too good there. One he needs for Foxtrot to repair them. I mean, he's also not really got population cap for much else. I mean, Duncan One used to speed up the repair of his tanks is actually a pretty good idea. Up close consequences of Grenadiers. Not quite working out the shit difference in experience between the two. And there you go, Panther engaged by the E-5 tanks, so maximum teams to cover up as well. Katyusha could try and fight the enemy mortar here. If he remembers to use it, he's being very careful with it. I mean, it's sure he might move it up close to the front line, but as soon as he's done, he does not keep it around there. He pulls it all the way back to ensure that Joe can't, you know, just sneak in there with a tank and take it out of something else. More telemines down right next to Foxtrot's regular mines.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
He's actually just allowing it to there, basically hoping that the telemine sets off the other mine. That'd be pretty interesting if that's actually the case there. Pretty interesting.
The sector has been cut off.
Grenadiers setting out. Or perhaps he just overlooked the mine, which also seems a bit weird. Oh well.
Enemy forces are neutral.
Pioneers still rounded by the double T-34 and 67 to lay down a severe volume of fire, which the Pioneers have absolutely no way of surviving against. More minefields up there for Joe, very good, flooding out manpower, munitions, of fuel, but again, partly simply because he's more or less at full, so he can't really use some of his resources very efficiently. Certainly Fox has a bit of the same here. Engineers almost taken out in here by the Grenadiers. Stoop doing what he can here. 7 kills close to the ace level. Oh, snap! Tellermine went off, taking out the entire conscript squad. Hot damn, I think actually Joe might have done that intentionally, actually. Ordering his Stuke to shoot at the Tellermine. Because again, keep in mind, if a mine gets set off by something else that is, unit triggering it, like an explosion, it will actually magnify the explosive firepower of the mine. It's a bit of an engine quirk, essentially. So, very sneaky play there by Joe. Basically used a Tellermine to set off a unit. I mean, the fun thing is about Tellermines, they were used as improvised demolition charges. In fact, they could be used as a demolition charge. In fact, they're used on the eastern front at times exactly for that purpose. You just wire them up and then set them off when you want to. In fact, they're used doing some defenses to help break up Russian assaults like that. Okay, almost looked like I was going to hit that Tellermine and set off the other mine, which could again theoretically do some heavy damage. So there you go. Grenadiers being out engaged with the T-34-6. Stuke there is very close to the east level. Another T-34-6 on the way for Foxtrot. Shock's coming up. The Grenadiers being surrounded. You need to be careful. Just begging them to get out, and there you go. Could see a what. There will see what, I think. Yes, Grenadiers annihilated. Bit of a blow there to Jove. Another T-34-6 out there for Foxtrot. There you go. Ace Stuke up. There's the T-34-6. More Grenadiers for Jove. Ace firing ahead. And Panther unleashing hell here. Mine spotted by the minesweepers. Max taking hits. Mortars taking hits. Max in fact gets wiped. T-34 moving straight for the centre here to deal with the Grenadiers there. Jove and the Gorstach is proving to be, of course, a formidable opponent. Here for Foxtrot, only 6 guard to tank core. Looking to destroy his own field gun now. In fact, he can probably soon go for another T-34-6. But of course, he's a bit got too many units there, but theoretically could go for it. Though he's short on other things, so maybe he shouldn't. Half track out for Joe, going for spotting scopes. Is he planning a Regal Mines or something? I mean, I don't think he's going to go for a flame for half track this late into the game. And I mean, he just wants a reconnaissance vehicle. I mean, he just go for the 2-2, which works better with the spotting scope. So he must be planning Regal Mines. Or I just, yep, Regal Mines. Joe's definitely onto some advanced mine tactics here. Haven't seen Regal Mines in quite some time, actually. Look, I think he's trying to set off mines there. Head hits them in Maxim. Then these routed constant structures from the center. Max about to get wiped out and destroyed by the mortar, in fact. Mines crew moving ahead here. He's probably looking for mines, but not the Regals. And due to the way they look, they're actually easier to miss because they just look like, set of bronze bars, so they didn't quite visually stand out much. T-34 make a big push here with the issue fire on the car spawn there. Panther 4 gaining between 2 machine guns, setting up nicely there. A slightly oblique angle. T-34 coming in, almost got the Panther 4. Ace to 5 gets penetrating hit, then actually fails. Pack 40 coming inside the base. Ace T-34 coming in, shoots, bounces. Panther 4 down, going into the base. The target weak point on the T-34-6, not the Ace 1 though. Going for the Panther for there and gets it. Destroying Joe's artillery there. Ace Stuke moving in. Need to be careful of the Pack 40 as well. Direct hit on the T-34-6 bite. Oh dear, what is going on with the Foxtrot? Joe could go for the Elephant heavy tank and I wanted to. T-34 there about to go down. Main gun out. T-34 inside the bases. Forgotten to allow to shoot the infantry targets. Is not shooting anything, not in the pack. Need to keep moving. He's stopping up right in front of it. I think Foxtrot's trying to do too much here. Joe's attacking round here through it. Oh dear. Fox, I think, he's tried to do too much here and basically lost a lot of units because he couldn't. Ace to 5, the planning counter fight, got the Stuke moving in. Direct hit on the Ace to 5 and the Ace Stuke versus Ace to 5 is going to be a win for the Ace Stuke simply because it's faster and more importantly, it has a higher rate of fire by far. Oh, got it. T-34 moving in. They could flank and outmaneuver the Ace Stuke. Can the Stuke turn around fast enough? And there you go. The Ace Stuke takes out the Ace T-34-76. Another T-34 there for Foxtrot. What will Joe go for there? Panthers, Elephants, Panther 4s, more glorious Sturmgeschütz. 11 kills on that one. 8 infantry, 3 vehicular kills.
50 points remaining.
Osman on the way for Joe. That's an interesting choice at this stage of the game. Half track, by the way, is still about.
Territory is falling into enemy hands.
I mean, definitely a lot of interesting moves there by Joe and some interesting mine warfare. A-Stug, though, in need of repairs pretty badly. Katyusha moving back there, 4 kills. Really hasn't seen a lot of action there for Foxtrot. Close quarters barrage there to try and take out the Grenadiers. More or less a shotgun rocket blast. Almost takes out the entire Grenadier squad. After up the east side, mines there being swept by the English. They tried to, but the half-track and the MB-42 is not making it easy. East Panzer Grenadier moving in there. Go flat pans out for Joe, but what is he planning further? Is it the Elephant? Is it Panthers? Is it Sturm Panthers? It's hard to say here what Joe's plan is. He's got the resources for sure, but well, he's got his opponent down to 23 victory points, 21 in fact. Half-tech Panzer's machine gun moving in to defend the point. T-Fed Forces on the move. He's going to need something there to back things up. Panzer there being crushed by the T-34 from 6. 258 versus 17. Another T-Fed Force from 6 on the way for Foxtrot. Joe still remaining hesitant, if not a bit coy with his resources. He's in the centre victory point. Mortar cleared out here by the Grenadiers. Good work by Joe. Things are falling a bit apart here for Foxtrot. And there you go. Panther on the way for Joe. The Panzerkampfwagen 5. Stugate, by the way, is good to go once more for Jove. For Germany. Going straight for that T-54. Oh, unit taking out with the mines. Need to be careful against the T-54. These ranges could go badly here for the Stug if he's not careful, even with that glorious level of efficiency. And there you go. Shot bounced off the Stug's frontal armour. Other T-54 wing Osman raiding Foxtrot's base here. We're down to 70 points still here. Ground the eastern victory point, trying to grab the centre one. Panther almost done for Jove. In fact, he could probably go for another one soon enough. So in fact, Jove has almost used the entire Jaeger armor doctrine. Regal mines, reconnaissance, spotting scopes, bombing strikes. In fact, the only thing he hasn't used is the Elephant itself, which is actually almost full bingo with Jaeger armor, which is himself pretty rare. So, I mean, impressive work there by Joe. Stug engages here, target weak point first. Second hit there. And with this, Foxtrot surrenders. A loss to the Red Army, a victory for Germany, a victory for the Großdeutsch, and a victory for the Sturmgeschütz. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. And if you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links are in the video description. Every bit helps me there to, keep doing this day after day. This is Imperial Link saying cheers. Thank you for watching. You all have a wonderful audience. Hope to see you tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.